Well, we're just going to get into it, folks. Hi, Frank, KG60W here. And there's going to be no fancy intro tonight. Someone's running a little late. That's okay. Work takes priority. So we're going to see what happens in the meantime. Uh, oh, maybe right on time. Let's see. Let me know when you're ready to come in. Give me a thumbs up or something when you have your camera on. But yeah, let's see. So first off, tonight, right after me, Chris Radio and Life is going live with Andy and N0 APX and building the Spooltina. So that'll be interesting. Oh, okay. Voice only. Got it. Give me a second then. While we're waiting for me to work that out. Oh, I can't move this forward because I already have it partially attached to. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's add the stream. All
Well,
right.
how you
Hi,
doing there,
Ziggy.
handsome?
Good question. How am I doing? This 4-to-1 voltage balance is quite something else. I'll say that much.
All right. Do you need help with it?
No, not tonight. We're just. Let me come back over to this screen.
Oh, you're
Oops.
doing a phased balance.
Sure. Yeah. If that Hollywood called it a 4-to-1 voltage balance. So.
Oh, okay. So you're doing like a quarter wave stub that's again shorted out to itself.
Okay, so let me switch back over here. What this is this is my 2-meter Yagi. It's a 12-element Yagi by Cushcraft.
Cool.
And so you have four wraps there, and this one wire with the bead on it goes to the coax connector. This is the old version right here that was sitting next to it that I am now holding over it.
So the thing that I love about these is that they're extremely efficient on the single frequency that they're tuned for.
Oh, this one's tuned for 2 meters, apparently.
Well, I mean, 2 meters is saying a lot, you know?
So that's my little side project that I've been working on today. I've been to the hardware store twice to get. So I wasn't able to find anything that matched. And I know it looks horrible, but they have a little tiny. Let's see if I can get it on my actual screen here. Let me make myself.
Hey,
bigger.
why don't you take me off a share in your Discord? I'm sorry, not your Discord, but your
I can just solo myself for a second there.
There you go.
So they had this little tiny clip on it, and I could not find anything like that to tie the 3 shields together with the new coax that I was putting on here. So I got this big giant rope ferrule, and I smashed that together, and I just solderoided it. I couldn't get enough heat across this whole metallic surface here to get the solder all the way through, and I didn't want to burn up the dielectric either.
Yeah.
So I just hammered that down as much as I could, and then put as much solder to the shield and that as I could, and everything's working out so far so good. Now I just have to put everything back in this little tiny box and get a new SO239 connector.
All things considered, what's your top performing antenna at the moment, Frank?
None of them, because I haven't done much.
Oh, fair enough.
I haven't been able to play with the Kronos that I finally got built because I have bad coax. And I'm waiting to get that replaced.
I gotcha.
So, yeah, it's just been an absolute nightmare. So, that's not what we're... yeah, Hollywood. I'm probably going to go get one of those boxes like what they use for the Kronos and stick that whole thing in there and be done with it. get fix the box up, because it's only going on a 12 element Yagi. Who says it has to be pretty? So tonight we wanted to talk tuners, and that's why I brought Ziggy on. And un-
And I
unfortunately,
have I have been doing tuning of a different kind all day. A lot of people
mm,
don't know that I actually work on very high horsepower custom race cars, and it's pretty much a try to keep it as much of a secret as you can kind of thing.
right?
Because we sandbag, just like everybody else. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Gee, I thought you sat there and worked on antennas and toroids all day.
No, 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 no. That's when somebody pays me enough money that it makes me sit down and wrap one up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works.
So I've actually, I the last guy I sold an antenna to named Pete, he told me about his situation and his compromise. The inability to work with his hands because of his age.
Right.
And, he's been an extra for longer than I've been alive. And I think that there's no greater joy in life than to make an antenna for an Elmer
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
that has never been your Elmer. This just it's just out of this world, full circle. And this
Right.
is and when he told me his compromises, I said, I'm gonna do basically a half hour of labor and material on this guy. So I sent him the antenna of his dreams. He wrote me an email this morning and it was beautiful. He said
Oh,
everything was
fantastic.
wonderful from 6 to 160. And if you had talked to me about 6 to 160 about a year ago, I'd be spitting on the ground and throwing my hat.
Right.
But you know I have a new saying as of lately. RF's gonna RF.
Oh, absolutely.
RF's gonna RF. It may not be pretty or where you want it to go.
But it'll do the trick. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
it's gonna go somewhere, actually, as Holly would say. RF is always gonna go somewhere.
so
And RF is lazy. It takes the easiest path.
well, funny you should say that. Hollywood and I were talking about my antenna. I'm gonna use this hammer here, Ziggy. I know you're driving, so don't pay too much attention to me if you yeah. But so I'm going to use this hammer. Everybody that knows anything about Yankees knows you have your radial. Let's say the base of the hammerhead here is the radial, or yeah, the radial. You have your connection point a little further down, and then you have your directors and everything else, right, going up the boom, and then all your signal squirts out the end of the Yagi in the direction you're pointed, right?
You think?
Yeah, no, my antenna's my antenna's pointed to the east northeast, and not at the repeater that I'm usually getting into anyway. The front facing part of it, everything. If you were to look at it square on, all of that is facing the repeaters, and I'm able to get into the repeaters. I don't have it pointed this way towards the repeaters. I have it pointed this way towards the repeaters,
All
and the
right, so you're
repeaters are
saying
that
that
way.
you've got your Yagi like pretty much 180 out from where the repeater's at, but you're still lighting it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Like that's not a thing, because you have to think your main radiating element. As much as you want to think that all the energy throws in one direction, that main radiator is still going to have some kind of bubblicious backfeed, and it's just enough for a tower high enough to hear it.
Well, here's the fun part about
So I
that.
mean,
And
if you're like within the same county, absolutely. I mean, and
oh
probably within the
no,
next county over, you could probably still light it up, being 180 out from that tower.
oh no, Ziggy, it gets better than that. By the way, Dave, you're right. You can operate off the side of a Yagi, and I am living proof of it. So this Yagi, as I said, it's not facing the right way or anything, And 4-5 says he hears the voice of Florida man. Yes, you do, 4-5.
Oh, we got to go this way.
So that mountain that I'm getting into, granted, because of the way the matching box was and a few other things, it wasn't that great, but I'm getting into it, and I've been getting into it for years this way. It's at 2,800 feet. I have a 4,300 foot and a 3,600 foot mountain between me and it, and I'm only about 387 feet. And that antenna's not facing the right way. So there's some absolute magic going on there.
Am I transmitting video at all?
Nope, just audio.
Oh, why?
I don't know. You tell your phone why.
Do you see me?
Nope. I see a black screen. So does everybody else in your name. And this is the antenna. This is the label on the matching unit, or what's left of it. The Kushcraft something M2U Ultra Match. So anyway, but that's not why we're here. Now that we've spent the first little bit here, we want to talk about tuners. And Hollywood, you're right. I'm transmitting long path to the repeater. I have no idea. I know it. Obviously, it's possible. But anyway, so let's talk about tuners.
Wrapping the Earth on 2 meters, sure.
That would be something. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk tuners because let me break the ice. I don't know why the video's not coming through. It says that I have 5G. Maybe I should drop and rejoin. I don't know, but I'll just keep talking about tuners if you can hear me okay.
Oh yeah, you're 5'9".
I was a hater of random antennas when I first started because the first thing I found was the in-fed half wave. Why? Because it was the damn hardest thing a new ham could ever make, right?
Oh yeah.
And I found out not by reading how these things work, but by playing with the number of wraps and stringing this thing up, like 40, 50 feet up in the air. And this is a long antenna. We're talking, over 100 feet.
Mine's 100
horizontal on both sides. So, I mean,
yeah,
I spent probably close to, I want to say almost way over 100 hours easily walking the field. And in fact, I had to actually use my golf cart. It sounds like I'm, a lazy ass, but no, like seriously, when you have to go back and forth, 20 times.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow. 100 some feet. So anyhow, so I was a hater of randoms for a long time, and I thought that they were lazy. Too long, didn't read. They get the most hams on the air year after year.
Oh, absolutely. One of my first antennas, and I still use it, is in-fed.
So, well, no. So I'm real particular about what you're talking about in-fed as in the random community, not the in-fed half wave.
No, I'm talking about the in-fed half wave.
No. That's a resonant antenna is the in-fed half wave.
Yeah,
you're talking about an in-fed random.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. And Dave's in here asking the funny questions. Is Ziggy going to stop using 75 ohm cable?
Never. No, I actually have more antennas in my antenna garden that are trunk lined with tuned lengths of 75 ohm where, the main harmonics that us hams are after.
Right.
It generally falls within the 50 ohm portion of the up and down harmonically. So
why not?
No, it's all run. I probably have close to 1,000 feet of 75 ohm coax as trunk lines coming out of my ham shack.
Let's put it this way, Ziggy. I don't know if you can see our screen here, but look at what I'm holding up.
I see some. That's a nice thick piece of some RG6. It looks like.
Yep.
Nice.
RG6. This is going to replace for now. This is going to replace the HF coax until I can get something. Get some new LMR 400.
Frank, I'll tell you why I've been so absent from the tuberies and the discorderies as of late.
You've been busy.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I've got a kindergartner and a first grader, and my first grader just blew out the school as a fifth grade reader and math kid. So everybody's like, "How'd you do that?" And I'm like, "I beat him viciously with a belt."
Yeah, that would do it.
So anyway, no. My kids, they're heavily exposed to my ham radio hobby, like to the point where they are, oversaturated with it, and they just need a break from it.
Fair enough. I know that feeling. Sometimes I need a break from it.
But anyway, as far as the randoms, I have since accidentally kind of made an antenna because I was like, what if all of our antennas have one radiating element? If we're going to be random, let's have more than one main radiating element. So I took some speaker wire, right?
Right.
So from my my pulse, as we would say in Mamanagal, at the very beginning of my transmission for an antenna, I immediately split into two different wires and, do like some, inverted V or, inverted L or whatever. But have one of those wires like, 5 or 10 feet longer than the other. And what you've done now is you've given your RF multiple paths to travel. And not only that, you've opened up a third gate, right? Because RF is more than likely going to travel on both of those simultaneously in different wave forms, but they're either going to crash out or they're going to amplify, to, greater or lessen the nulls as they come off of this contraption.
So hold on. The third gate. Let's explain to the audience what that is.
Okay, so the third gate is what I call when you have two elements that are individual of each other, but when they interact, you open up an interaction between them. So it's almost like you have three radiating elements. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I call the third gate.
There you go.
Yeah. So you've got two radiating elements, and they can either, favor one or the other mostly, because RF's going to actually wiggle everything. It doesn't, it's not going to completely ignore something. Right. So anyway, yeah, just by adding a slightly, do this with speaker wire, guys. I tried this with like 50 feet of speaker wire, 2-wire speaker wire, and then I had one element just slightly longer than the other. And then for radials, I had just a different length array of radials. I had a 10-footer and a 20-footer and like a 6-footer, what have you. Whatever you've got. You've given the RF now so many different paths to stabilize itself that you've actually softened the blow to the tuner, right? Because this is what the show's about, is about tuners.
Exactly.
Right. So now here I am in my ham hobby that I've figured out that, wait a minute, if we can allow the RF to have so many accessory paths safely, right? Not just ground paths, not just a radial path. I'm talking about different radiating elements. We all of a sudden we have a super antenna. We have an antenna that doesn't care what you want to do with it because most of the RF's going to run out of it
some way or another.
Yeah, and it's not going to be backed up. Like a single wire is only going to be resonant on 1, 2, or 3 folds of harmonics throughout our entire ham hobby, or however complicated you want to really, correct me on that one. But when you have two different radiating elements, you have, this one, that one, and what those two do together, which is a whole nother topic. And so, yeah, I've come full circle, and I absolutely love the ability that you can soften the blow on any internal tuner of any radio, as long as your radiating elements are different lengths from each other. No toroid needed, fellas.
So like with the Chronos, they suggest 25 feet. What you could do, or 25 feet 2.5 inches, I think it is 25. We'll just round it out. You could do a 30-foot wire, a 20-foot wire, and a 15-foot wire, right?
So, absolutely.
And it would lessen the blow to the tuner and how it interacts with everything. Oh, we lost Ziggy. Oh no, we lost the Zig word. Ziggy dropped. Oh no. Oh, just as we were getting good with this. Well, hold on. Let's give it a minute. And hi, Chris. Good to see you in there. I did promote your live stream after me at the beginning there, so hopefully you're around for that. And that's going to be lots of fun. I'll drop the link again he oh, come on. There we go. He played something 4 or 5, absolutely. He definitely played something. A stringed instrument of some sort. Yeah. We'll go with that one, Hollywood. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Okay, let me see. While we're waiting, oh, I didn't even highlight that. There we go. All right. While we're waiting, let's see. Can I get this all the way around and over? And so there's the connection that I'm getting back together. And yeah, I'm definitely going to need a bigger box for this because this box is, well, the box is supposed to go right there. Let's see. That's not quite going to work out. Oh, Ziggy's back as I drop everything. Add the stream. There we go. Now we have video.
It's crazy. There you go.
I was just killing time and showing the full amount of.
Where did I leave off on my terrible rant? I'm so sorry.
We were just talking about how you could do the 10, 15, or 10, 20, and 30-foot counter radiating element on the Chronos.
Oh, and I was saying that nobody likes to think about our radials being the main radiator of our RF energy source, but it happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure you drive safely there. I don't want you getting a ticket on a live stream. That wouldn't be good.
No. We're doing this.
Okay.
It's a country road for like 50 miles. I'm good.
Oh, okay. How about we talk about mismatched load myths?
Okay, so what's the problem?
Why does a low SWR at the transmitter not necessarily mean the antenna system is efficient?
I mean, I hate overgrounders.
Okay.
And this is all too common in our poor little community. The people that are so afraid to do a little ham maintenance and unplug stuff, First of all, if you're a ham, you should be checking the weather daily. Because
right.
how are you going to have a conversation without telling somebody what your weather is?
or what your ailment is on 80 meters.
Well, hold on now. So anyway, the overgrounders, I think, get hit with lightning more than us earth floaters.
Right.
I totally should have been hit with lightning like 10 times. Like, not just for like my past sins, but for as much wire as I have up in the air and for as many antenna that I have, thanks to how cheap 75 ohm coax is.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm the same way. I have so much up in the air that every time I get that tingle of a storm, and we do get them quite a bit here in California during the summer months. That it drives me nuts.
So actually, 75 ohm coax started me off on my manual tuner rabbit hole. To be honest with you,
Oh yeah,
because
you're one of those manual tuners.
yeah, my most recent and favorite one that I acquired is one that was handmade by a little Japanese dude in like the early 90s.
Hmm.
It's called a Daiwa, and I did a live stream about it. It is gorgeous. It is so beautiful.
Oh, I know about Daiwa, the company. Yeah.
They don't. You can't. I looked. You can't buy these. You can't buy anything like that in America. Anywhere. Nobody makes these. Everybody makes these auto tuners. I
Right.
don't. It's the market's flooded with the auto tuners, the small auto tuners. Nobody makes these beautiful manual tuners anymore. But
Oh, Daiwa's still around, so they probably have one or two lying around somewhere.
are they an active company selling product?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pull it up on the screen, Frank.
All right. Let's see
This is a
here.
stream about
I do.
manual tuners, is it not?
It is.
I
I
want, I
do
want, I want to
believe
see.
that.
I want to see you pull some evidence.
I do believe they are now sold under 12-volt power.
That's
Let
okay.
me. Well, that one's nice, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. You like fishing, Ziggy?
Do I like to fish?
Yeah.
No, dude. I have kids. I don't have time to fish.
Daiwa apparently makes fishing gear too.
Daiwa doesn't sound like the same Daiwa that we're talking about anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not really. No. Let's see. Let me see if I can find where they're at here. Oh,
So
I know
anyway,
they had.
while
Yeah.
you're doing that, I want to tell everybody what happened today. So we shoved a 2002 LS engine into a 1995 Impala SS, black on black, with 20
Oh.
inch 20-inch blades, and we shoved the engine so far into the firewall that we actually couldn't access a couple of really important bolts on the backside of the engine.
Oh
Um,
no.
oh no! It was wonderful. I mean, we just dropped the cradle back out. We just attached what we need to fix, but the
So
engine is the engine slammed so far into the firewall that it kind of looks like it's a small engine. But we
jeez.
finally got closed loop data. And this is a car that I've built from the ground up, including the wiring harness. And I've
Right.
been working on this car for 5 years. This is the first day this car's ever been to operate down the road in a closed loop system where it can control its own fuel and air ratio. And I hand built this car.
Oh nice.
Yeah,
So Jeff,
yeah.
that's not the right website. Jeff tried to help me out there, but on DX Engineering, they got the meters on DX Engineering.
It's not a meter.
Oh, that's just the first
That's what
start of
I'm
what I.
saying, is that these devices don't exist anymore in nature.
Oh, you'll have to
These
send me a
these
model number later, and we'll look it up.
these handmade manual tuners, not I mean, the roller inductors are obviously the creme de la creme of the manual tuner.
Oh yeah.
The problem with the roller inductors is the roller inductor.
Right.
Nothing beats a rotary tap. The problem with a rotary tap is that not every rotary tap um, is tapping where that ham would like it to tap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sometimes mistaps in the areas.
No, not mistaps. It's way past it. You have to, try to overcorrect it, or you have to go all the way around and try a more capacitive load instead of inductive load to try to make it work. Which you just throw everything out the window at that point.
All
Um,
right, so I think I found the tuner you're talking about here.
I I wish I could tell you what model it was. I don't. Ooh,
Is
that
it?
looks close. That's it. That's it. You got it.
Yep. Okay.
I
This
don't think
is
that's my model number, but as far as controls, that looks about right. Yeah, we've got an in and out capacitive. Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, that's it. In and out capacitive. And then, so what's cool is, hey, check it out. What is different about this? Go back. Go back. You went too far. I want to see the back of it.
oh, the back of it. Okay.
Yeah. You see that top left red connector?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, obviously it's a banana plug.
Okay, so you could stick a bare wire into there, right?
Yeah.
All right. How many tuners today have a single wire output off the back of the tuner?
Oh, I don't think any of them do.
Almost none. Almost, like, it's getting rare.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
super. So when I got this Daiwa tuner, and you know, I opened it up and I Googled at it, for days on days, because it was handmade. Somebody handmade it.
Right.
But when I finally discovered that it had a single wire output, and I was like, holy shit, I've forgotten what ham radio is all about. And I took my 7300 and that Daiwa out into a field, my field,
Right.
and I put a single wire and some bullshit radials.
No, you're good. We're far enough in.
And I could tune up everything on a single wire with about 50 feet,
Not
I was
bad.
like, there's no way. And I started making contacts and talking to people, and they're like, no, man, you're blowing my ears out. And I was like, golly, are you kidding me? So I started learning how to use my manual tuner with two hands, right?
Right.
Two hands on the knobs. And the day that I hooked up two wires as radiating elements, and I call it the zigzag, right?
Okay.
It's an inverted V with two different length immediate radiating elements, and connected to a manual tuner, 6 to 160, and you're getting out with a super high efficiency. And there's
Very
no
nice.
toroid involved, folks. No toroid.
So that brings me to a fun question. Is it ever
Yeah.
beneficial to intentionally mismatch the load to the tuner?
By the manufacturer.
This is just a generic question. Is it ever beneficial to intentionally mismatch the load? If so, under what specific operating or propagation conditions would you do that? Oh, your max headrooming. Oh, well, we'll wait for Ziggy to come back. I think the question overloaded his internet. oh, we'll see what he's trying to talk. Gotta love mobile internet, right, guys? 5G or not, gotta love it. Oh, I think he's gone. We'll see. Well, uh, you're in and out, Ziggy. Are you back? Or are you back? Nope, not quite. Oh boy. Well, we may have to do this again another time, Ziggy. And he's gone. He's gone. Yep. The question went kapoof, and it took out his internet. All 5Gs of it. Folks, I will say this. I think maybe Ziggy and I will do a recording later, and I'll post it as a video. Yeah, the spiders from Mars got him. Okay, he just tried dropping in. There we go. All right. Is
Back
your internet better?
No, my phone is on fire. It said, and so I'll just
Oh
turn.
no.
Yeah, because I'm charging and struggling to maintain because I'm way out in the woods now. So
Yeah,
it's
your internet went and just blah.
you got a good copy on my audio though.
Oh yeah, you're 5.9 audio.
All right, let's get back to what we were talking about. Where did I leave off at?
I asked the question and you dropped.
I was trying to get you to clarify the problem question. I didn't quite understand what the issue
It's
was.
not really a problem question, it's just a generic question. Is it ever beneficial to intentionally mismatch load at the tuner? And if so, under what specific operating or propagation conditions would you do that in?
So I'm gonna pass on this question because there's not enough
Okay.
context as to why you would ever mismatch at the tuner. Um,
Well,
so
apparently
okay,
it's a
hold on. I might have a
yeah.
little bit of
Uh, yeah, we're definitely gonna do a video once he gets home, and we'll work it out for another day. Wow. Hey, this is fun. One by two audio. Gee, Dave, you might be a few seconds behind. Let's see. All right, are you back?
Do you hear me?
Yep. You just
So
disappeared.
I use I use 75 ohm coax, and what I've noticed is that when you maintain a 50 ohm from front to back, you have very predictable and expected characteristics out of your antenna. When you use random links of mismatched impedance, you actually kind of give your tuner an advantage. It almost kind of broadens up your tuner's ability,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Um, because you can, it's kind of a dice roll, right?
Right.
And more often than not, it has always worked in my favor. And for the more times that it's worked in my favor, and I can't think of a single time that it hasn't, I
Huh?
have clearly never understood the absolute like secreted hatred of using a really nice quad shielded RG6 75 ohm run, with your internal tuner for your 7300 and like the best antenna that you can like get, as high up into the air
Right.
as possible. I have never. This is how I started in ham radios with 75 ohm coax because I didn't have any 50 ohm coax.
Hey, you start with what you have, right?
I was like, coax is coax, right?
Well, Jeff has a good point here. The Illuminati are trying to silence you. Big 50 ohm coax, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have a couple cease and desists already.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
Oh.
I am way too vocal, and I am not hiding my call sign enough from you people because you found out my mailing address. Yeah, when
Oh,
I don't
oh,
like your
oh.
antenna, the problem is when I don't like your antenna, I say something about it. Where the most of you go, well, let's just review it and give it like a mediocre score.
Wait, are companies really doing that?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I have cease and desist letters, and I
Uh,
just laugh and throw them in the trash.
well, we all know how you feel about the antenna that I had, the company that I had.
Oh, anyway, so I have an antenna along the topic what you're trying to bring up. I have an
Yeah.
antenna that so I took the Poseidon core and I added more impedance to it, but I used a wrap that's pretty much never used on any other core but the 43 um, ferrite mix. The holy
Okay.
grail of our hobby, the 43 core.
Right.
Right. And so normally you catch that, with a uh, any version of a NTED, but also, the holy grail of the random, the 9-to-1.
Oh yeah.
I love the 9-to-1 because I hated the 9-to-1 when I first started my ham journey.
Right.
And it's a tri-filer, usually a 9-turn. And for anybody that is still interested in what I have to say about wrapping cores, if you wrap 5 wraps and then you cross over the core and you wrap up 5 wraps again, you better
Right.
be doing that for aesthetics, because you're not doing that for magnetic principal properties.
Right.
You're actually making your transformer more lossy by doing that. Also, that crossover doesn't count as a turn. There's a much smarter man that's already debunked this on YouTube.
Oh,
He says it kind of counts as almost like 0.2 of a turn as far as impedance or inductance, however which way you want to start. So
so
anyhow, along with
Chris,
that,
hold
I've
on,
taken a loss.
Ziggy,
Go ahead.
Ziggy, hold on. So, Chris, if you're still listening, talk to Andy about that tonight on the Spoolton on your live stream. And Jeff said lamp cord and Bic pins can make you some ladder line. Absolutely. Continue.
So let's get back to randoms, right?
Yes.
The Poseidon works so well because the transformer has a very short path to the radiating element, right?
Right.
It's a dual. No, it's another dual. It's just a simple bifilar 4-to-1.
Yeah, I'm holding up the Kronos version right now.
Right. And so what we've done simply is we've given RF a place to propagate within the core, and depending on suppression of the core and the elements attached to the antenna, you've given RF multiple ways to escape.
Right.
Now, technically, in this case, it's a single wire, as most antennas are. I don't know where I started adding multi-link radiating elements.
Okay.
But I did have a gentleman approach me. What was it? I think it's about a year ago. I've been working pretty close on this project, and I think that this is what made me come full circle on the random antennas. And they are government ALE, right?
Right.
And he said, look, we're having a problem here. The only resources we have are the ham community. The problem with the ham community is they don't transmit on the weird, 4, 7, 11, 16
Right.
megahertz that we do.
Yeah, we're
all
on,
over the place.
Yeah,
And
we're a lot more.
I said, it sounds like you guys need multiple antennas. He goes, well, the problem is that we're running these on 7300s. And I go, well, that's not a problem at all.
No, that's easy.
Oh, no, you've damn near figured it out. I mean, you just want me to just make you something that you can tune up on all these weird, yeah. And I was like, you know what? There's going to be no math involved. And so that's where the zigzag came from. It's just a dual element that actually acts as probably at least 3 different radiating elements that then, let's just say 4, right?
Right.
Because the interaction between the two can do some pretty fun stuff. But then the internal tuner can fix all that. So it kind of becomes an any antenna, as Tio would like to call it.
Right.
And actually, Tio was the first person to try out my zigzag antenna, and I think he talked to somebody like damn near halfway across the world at Hamcation Orlando.
That is something, absolutely.
It was great. It really was. Yeah, and we actually used my car as a. We were trying to get the wire, up and over as a inverted V as much as we could. We used my wife's truck as a prop for my microphone stand, and then we had a 10-foot piece of PVC on top of that. So we had a pretty good, awesome setup. And yeah, I think we were talking to the whole world with just a couple pieces of wire that we could tune up anything on. And we were doing it. We weren't even using the internal tuner. We were doing it like gangsters with a manual tuner because he wanted to play with this Daiwa tuner.
There you
And
go.
believe it or not, you you can almost use a manual tuner to your advantage because just because you have a 1-to-1 SWR radio doesn't mean you're getting the most RF out. Maybe a little bit of a mismatch
Right.
will yield you a little bit more RF on the backside.
So Brian makes a good point here. Emergency mode on the 7300 makes it a 10-to-1 tuner. Yeah, but you're only putting out, what is it, 10 or 20 watts at that point? It doesn't do the full 100.
So again, if you just simply, instead of a single wire, let's go down to that radio, right? And just a single piece of wire that you
Oh,
stripped,
it
you
does
shoved
50
in, you
watts.
shoved into the back. Hold on.
Yeah.
You shoved into the back. If you had one single wire, that one single wire is going to radiate on most efficiently, maybe, one or two within our favorable higher frequencies. Certainly not a lower frequency.
Right.
Um, Continuing with that, if you just simply added a different linked element to that same radiating point, you've now opened up the world to your tune.
Oh, absolutely. And real quick, so Brian says 50 watts, so I stand corrected. It's 50 watts in emergency mode. And guys in the chat, I put a poll over there for you. Go vote and let me know what you think.
I'm not mad at the emergency mode. That would definitely be something because I believe that ICOM recognized that there are people insane enough to travel to these little tiny rocks that float out in the middle of our Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I think that that's kind of reserved for them specifically. And in that mode, right? These guys are smart enough to tune whatever, wire they happen to have.
Right.
Right.
And not only that, and it's not only for those guys that. Oh, we lost Ziggy again. Well, while we're waiting, yeah, go check out the poll over there. Let's see. I know I'm pointing. Let's see. There we go. Go check out the poll over there. I see 7 votes right now. Go hit the dingus and have fun with that. Because this has been quite the interesting live stream, if you ask me. We'll just wait for Ziggy to come back. Ah, there we go. Are you back now?
It's actually too much for my phone to handle, even just streaming the voice.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, let's wrap this up then with this, and this will give some
Wait
people
a minute, where
to
did I leave off at, Frank?
what?
Where did I leave off at?
We were talking about the 7300 and the emergency tuner.
Okay. So I've seen it, I haven't activated it, but I think that that's its use case. I don't think it's for any other use case, but I'm in an island.
Well, Mike N2MAK will occasionally use his emergency tuner to tune up random antenna links as well. I think it's meant for the experimenter in us, the hobbyist in us, that wants to try those random links of wire like you're talking about and see what works and what doesn't. Because it is a 10-to-1 tuner, so in emergency mode, so that's not too bad.
No, I'm not going to hate on that at all. The problem that you face with that is that if you don't have proper choking distinction in between your radio and whatever the hell you're trying to RF up with
Right.
with this kind of flyback as I call SWR, you risk being the more shorter path to ground, which I've seen a lot in young hams. They come to me and they go, dude, I keyed up and I got lit up like a Christmas tree. And I go, well, let's go assess the return path for your RF. And they go, oh man, the whole backside of my truck's made of fiberglass. And I'm like, well, Where where's the return on that? Where I've got to go back
Right.
back down that coax, back down that radio, and for whatever reason,
Absolutely. Ziggy, I think it's pretty unanimous. I'm going to end the poll right there. 100% of the people say they want a follow up video talking about this. So, how about we schedule something where we do a follow up video where you're at home and we can talk and show stuff and that sort of thing?
all right. Well, how many was in the poll? First of all,
10 votes.
I got 10 votes. I'm going to be
Yeah.
home in approximately 20 minutes. What are you doing in about an hour?
Eating dinner and going to bed. And Chris Radio and Life actually has a live stream starting in 10 minutes that lasts probably hour and a half. So we can schedule something for another day.
Well, let's pick it back up another day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Ziggy, say bye to everyone.
Well, I'm not going to say bye, but I will say
Okay.
that thank you very much.
Oh.
It's been a pleasure to be on your channel, and
It's always good to have you.
I can't believe that you would let me talk to your subscribers, because I'm absolutely out of my mind. But
hey, we gotta talk about tuners some more. That's all I gotta say. With that, folks, go check out Chris Radio and Life. I just dropped a link to his thing, and if not, it's just when I end my live stream, it's gonna dump you all there. Until next time, 73 and put on, y'all.